running the spot. And you know we got breath control, so no need to take a breather. Cardio kingpin, subjugate the dub play. And you know we can't wait to bring spins. A-star quizzes, A+ the final. Vocals we align, we'll move it all simultaneously over joints we rock. We earn 30 years, so you can say we got 3 turns. Live off the board, unlike you and your chess men. We install doubt in you and your yes men. And if the game had veins, we'll insert upheaval the ground. Cause the adrenaline we blend with the sound is our thing, relieving the kings of all crowns. So are you ready? Are you set? Then jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go. Keep it steady, to the letter, right? Turn it up, y'all keep the flow. But can you rock it like rocket fuel? What you talking about? Space out your mind. But can you rock it like rockets, fool? That's a close encounter of what kind? Hard as you can go. You can go. Keep it steady, to the letter, right? Turn it up, we giving the show. But can you rock it like rocket fuel? What you talking about? Space out your mind. But can you rock it like rockets, fool? That's a close encounter of what kind? But can you rock it like rocket fuel?
S-T-R-O. Yeah.
How many of y'all came to win?
Oh, they asking my name, huh?
You ready?
S-T-R-O. I ain't come to play with you.
Yeah.
Life challenging, but I wouldn't trade with you.
trade.
It's early, I'm up.
Yeah.
I can't spend the day with you. I'm minding my business. I ain't getting paid with you. My color bright. I ain't finna fade with you. Man, I gotta come clean like I made with you. I've been on my everybody drop when I drop. Look at shorty, she support ride. Lifting up, never not on my grind. New York City time. Another brother better, you will never find. I've been in my bag like groceries. Competition shouldn't take shots, take notes, please.
And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Minnesota Vikings. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
Let's go!
Here we go. 180!
Check 55 to Mike. All day, just like that.
Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 16 and an Eagle first down. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Play fake to Sanders. Now here's Wentz. Looking deep for Hilton. And this will be caught at the 30. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Let's go!
Here we go. Black man. 180!
Right here.
Sanders here as they run out of the gun. Call it a gain of 12, but of course not a first down due to the previous penalty.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line. In pregame, get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
Pushing forward for 3 up to the 48.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Now a fake on the give here as they try to run pass option. He's got a first down and then some inside the 40. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 24-yard line.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
And that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Eagles drive right down the field and score on the opening drive. Elliott good with a PAT, and that makes the score 7-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. On first down, Hansen. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down.
I think we'll see more of them trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A big-time gain there on the keeper, using his legs to hurt him. First down. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver. But it's going to be 2nd down. So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Throwing again. Hansen. This time for Smith, and it's intercepted. Picked off at about the 31.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Switch.
On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. To throw is Wentz. It's caught by Sanders. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. Well, good field position to start the drive, but under the gun now here on 3rd and 8. Shotgun now for Wentz. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Well, you've got a receiver here who's got one touchdown already in this first quarter, and they were trying to double his pleasure there, wanting to continue to go to the guys already gotten into the end zone. But good coverage to make sure that this time it fell incomplete.
They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces them to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. And trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you're wondering, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. They think he might be off to the races.
And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. 12 yards there. First down, Vikings.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it. But it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you call it at the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback.
Second quarter now from Minnesota. It's the Vikings in possession of the football as they've got it with a 2nd and 13 forthcoming. Off play action. Hanson. This one taken in by Olabisi Johnson. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 38-yard line.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route.
Quick strip, the ball's out, and it's picked up by the Eagles. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
A run there on first down going nowhere as he stopped right at the 25. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 25-yard line.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Watch the run, watch the run. 55, mark, guy, 55.
Working from the gun, Wentz. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, what, 9.9 times out of...
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
And we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Off the play fake. Hanson. And the catch made by Johnson. Touchdown, Vikings. Olabisi Johnson His first touchdown here of the new campaign, as they are now on the board here in the first half. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. On second down and 4, Wentz. And his throw here is going to be incomplete. He was looking for Miles Sanders out of the backfield. And it's 3rd and 4.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on second down. From the gun, it's Wentz. Caught by the tight end, Ertz. He's got the lane, and there he goes. A big play there on the catch and run. 44 yards. What a luxury to have a tight end that can not only catch it, but then can run after the catch like that.
What was the old expression back in the good old days? That they used to carry pianos on their backs when they were after they caught the football. Someone would stop and bang out a tune along the way as well. But nowadays, these guys are essentially bulked up wide receivers, and they are a full part of the passing game, and we see a lot of big plays as we just saw there.
There he goes left side, and he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Miles Sanders, his first touchdown of the new season, and the Eagles able to push further out in front. Elliott good on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2 minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do. I'd say the staff that's up in the booth watching the game, they may want to file that one away. See how fast the free safety closed to make that play? Might want to check into a throw the next time.
Here we go. 60 or. Hey, Haywood. Deep grip.
To throw on second down, Hansen. This time for Smith, and it's intercepted. And it's Clinton Dix with a pick. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
That's going to go as a loss of 6, and it'll set them back for second down.
Go. Ready.
Now on second and 16, Wentz, and they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete. He was looking for Miles Sanders out of the backfield, and it's 3rd down.
We've already seen him catch a few passes out of the backfield in the first half, unable to connect on that one.
Certainly seems like getting him the ball out of the passing game, though, is part of their game plan.
It certainly is, because he catches it well, creates a mismatch. You're going to cover him with a linebacker, a corner, a safety. They feel like he can win every battle.
On 3rd and long, it's Wentz. Looking deep for Hilton. And that is caught one-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. That goes as a gain of 36 on 3rd down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up. Got a man open, it's Ertz. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Carson Wentz with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the Eagles able to push further out in front.
Well, the lost sleep that the defensive coordinator had all week preparing for this game, a good portion of it was trying to prepare for him because he's absolutely a phenomenal player.
And a lot of times around the goal line, they know it's going to him. It's just so hard to stop.
And that's where it really becomes difficult because you're exactly right. They know it's going to him, yet they still can't stop it. That tells you when you're a dominant player.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Give them 18 there and give the Vikings a first down.
Exactly what they needed right there because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
First and 10 at the 40-yard line.
Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. Now a handoff looking right. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. 36 yards on the play. You know, I have a pretty good friend, Charles Davis, who tells me that when he sees plays like that, strong runs to the right, reminds him of the 1960s Green Bay Packers.
Boy, those were the days back when the fullback actually carried the ball as well as blocked. Then you had a halfback. You had pulling guards, guys who could get out and run. And you can hear the great coach saying it back then. So we get a seal here and a seal here, and we run this play right in the alley.
2nd and 5. And his throw is incomplete. He was looking for Adam Thielen there. And it's 3rd and 5.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. Back to throw. Hansen. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Herb Smith Jr., his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Vikings are able to close the gap just a bit. Zerline good with a PAT. And the lead down to 10, 24-14. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
First and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. You've got under a minute to go here until halftime. You've got the good-sized lead. No need to do anything crazy.
No, there really is no need to do anything crazy. The smart play, go ahead and take your lead into the locker room and then try to add to it in the second half. But there's a part of me that looks at this and says, first half going my way, I have a little bit of a cushion. Let's go ahead and try and extend things. If you've got some good plays drawn up, you might want to think about them right here.
Wentz now on 1st down. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. It actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
Once again here on 2nd and 10. And the catch made by Hilton. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. If there was one area that the coach emphasized in our pregame meeting, it was red zone offense.
In a sense I got from it, and I think you did as well, they weren't real happy with it.
And this is caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia. T.Y. Hilton, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. Elliott good with a PAT. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops, and if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
All day, defense, all day. Good.
To throw again. Hansen being chased out left. Now he'll square up and throw deep left sideline. And that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Looking to throw. Hansen setting up the screen for Cook. Space to maneuver at the 40. A 3rd down gain of 19. And you see the clock almost empty, so this is likely the last play in the 2nd quarter. A final shot before break. Hansen. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for him. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Now a run with Cook. And an alley to run. Past the 20. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Over 30 yards there. And first downs on 3 consecutive plays now. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. The former Purdue Boilermaker, Raheem Mostert. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12. And now he'll tuck it and run. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. It's their quarterback. His 3rd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Vikings are able to cut into that deficit. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the 3rd quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there's an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
We got this.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They had that first half lead, but they have been shut down here in this 3rd quarter, so time to retool a bit.
And probably need to tap into that emotional vein that gets them back to really playing hard and effectively. Because a lot of times we think it's just play calls and this isn't working and they're shutting them down. Sometimes when you get a lead, you lose your edge. You don't play quite as hard. That's what they're looking for here.
Trying to get that edge back as they've watched this lead shrink a little. A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the second half. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest ones, maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
A good return there, 17 yards. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They come in off a touchdown drive the last time they had the ball to cut down that lead. Now the defense has done their part, got them the football back.
Momentum started to shift a little bit when they scored the touchdown. It increased when the defense got them the ball back. Momentum definitely in their favor. Now they got to keep things cranking, keep it on high so they can keep cutting into that lead.
They run it again with Cook. And an alley to run. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dalvin Cook, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. As they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. Zerline now for the PAT. And the lead is down to a field goal now. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession. That was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Wentz going to try and throw on 3rd. And that's complete to Sanders. And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. Wentz now 10 of 17 throwing the ball. He's got a 1st and 10. Here's Wentz to throw. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up, because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 14 yards there and an Eagle 1st down.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the 1st tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. Again, it's Wentz. And that is incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Well, this is a guy who is already among an elite group of kickers that have hit from 60-plus in an NFL game, but that's a tough ask to try and get him to produce another one here.
You're exactly right. It's elite group for a reason, isn't it? No small feat for him to hit it from that distance. This one doesn't go through. I always marvel at those guys because it's the same approach every time, the same smoothness when they swing their...
And he will score! Touchdown, Vikings! Dalvin Cook with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Vikings have taken the lead. So what was already a game to remember becomes even more so as that touchdown run, a lengthy one, takes him over 200 yards now for the game.
And I love the fact that to get over 200, it took a pretty good sprint, didn't it? I mean, a lot of times you get 1 or 2 yards and oh, he's over 200 yards. But that really put an exclamation point on the game he's having. Fantastic. A lot of fun to watch.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And the last go-around for them, they tried that really, really long field goal, couldn't connect.
And in retrospect, I think a lot of people would say, well, why would you try one that long? You hurt yourself in field position. The ball comes out, there. That only helps the other team. But I look at it as maybe it was a double shot of confidence. Confident the kicker could make it. And even if he missed, confident in their defense that they could hold him.
74.
1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Now Wentz. The Sanders has got it complete. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. It's an Eagles 1st down on a gain of 11.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice gain.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
2nd and 12 after the first down pass play went backwards for 2 yards. Throwing is Wentz. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Wentz now to throw, and that will be incomplete. You and I watched film yesterday, and you told me to watch his feet. Well, for whatever reason, his footwork just looked off on that throw.
And you always love it when an ex-defensive back talks quarterback mechanics, right?
Well, but you're good at it.
Well, I try, all right? I don't know how good I am, but it doesn't take much to tell. His mechanics are off a little bit, exactly what you described. Footwork, that led to the incompletion.
The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. And the ball is knocked out, but this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. If the ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
And he'll get this only up to about the 35. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Hansen. And he fends him off. And shedding. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Chandler Jones able to finally wrestle him down for what's just going to be a huge loss, and it takes us to 4th down as well. He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. Fielded just inside the 30. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Philadelphia picking up the first on a gain of 15.
Great 15, great 15.
58, come on. 65.
On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Wentz going to throw. And this is Ertz with it, right side. Well, he caught it right at the line of scrimmage, and before he could even think about advancing it forward, he got hit.
Great tackling, because that's what you're taught. Don't give up yards after the catch, and most offenses make a living off of yards after catch. Those hidden yards that may not go into the score sheet, but they count big for moving the ball and stretching the field. Really nice open field tackle.
So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now a desperation throw deep. This is caught inside the 15. And he takes it all the way down to the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Well, I guess at the very least, they got the tackle from keeping him out of the end zone.
Yeah, you're looking for that silver lining, aren't you? But guess what? Everything changes now after that big play. They've got a chance to strike.
And he's in for an Eagles touchdown. Miles Sanders with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And once again, the Eagles are back out in front. Elliott good on the extra point. So it's now a 3-point game here in the closing stages, as a field goal now can only tie it. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play.
Touchdown, Vikings! Dalvin Cook, 75 yards. And the Vikings have once again taken the lead. Zerline connects on the extra point, and that will make this a 4-point game.
Vikings 42, Eagles 38.
Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away.
Get ready, get ready, get ready.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They're down here in a 1-score game. At the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
Well, they have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
Sometimes it's hard to figure, but you can live with incompletions in this situation. You can't live with these short gains that take time off the clock.
You know who loves it? This defense. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target. Incomplete. That would have been a tough catch, but in this 2-minute drill, those are the ones you really hope your guys come up with.
Yeah, you don't want your guy to be able to take the out because it was a tough catch. You needed him to come up with that one, because if he does, it alters the perspective of this 2-minute drill, doesn't it?
They'll go for it. It's Wentz. And he's got his man Hilton. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Now the Eagles will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game. Wentz to throw. And on the catch right side, this is Sanders. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. 17 yards and a first down for Philly.
First down, Eagles.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Back to throw. And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left.
It leads to 2nd and 10.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. To throw is Wentz. He's going to let it fly. And he's got it. It's caught for a touchdown. And they have taken the lead here in the final seconds.
So for those of little faith, guess what? It got done. They now have the lead with that touchdown this late in the contest. I wonder if that was a play they were holding or a play that they just knew would work from past experience.
Well, I just saw it in their eyes on the sideline before starting that last drive, and they did. You're right. They got it done. Looks like they're going to be the winners. Elliott good with a PAT, and it would appear, barring some late heroics, they're going to get out of here with a come-from-behind victory.
The Vikings take over. Let's go. Let's do it. At their own 25-yard line.
Let's go now.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Look at the clock. Everyone knows the situation. Probably time here for one final play.
And we know what that play is going to be. It's got to be some sort of Hail Mary, throwing it towards the end zone and hoping someone can catch it or catch it off of a tip. Think back to 2015. Didn't we see Green Bay pull that off twice in the season? Once in the regular season, once in the playoffs. So stranger things have happened. It'd be interesting to see what the defensive strategy is about who they put on the field to try and knock that ball away.
And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you're wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for Philadelphia, they get back in the win column as they move to 2-1 now on the year. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week, where they take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, they'll fall to 1-2. And they'll get the extra week to think about this one as they return to action in 2 weeks' time. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Are you ready? Get ready, dog. This be the green light, go!